Yo, what's good everyone? Today we have returned to Retail Tycoon 2. By popular demand, I have been reading a lot of your comments for the last 2 days. And yes, today we are going to be continuing our build because, well, my end goal for this right now is to somewhat build kind of like a mall, sort of more of like a Walmart, but not really. I'll be 100% honest with you. I have absolutely no plan, but we're gonna wing it and we're gonna see what kind of progress we make today. Now, my buddy Bad Bunny G, which a lot of you have seen him in my Wacky Wizard videos, as well as pretty much every other game that I cover, he actually went ahead and made his own kind of a mall over there, and I'm going to be giving you guys a quick little tour of that because, dude, he's added every single little detail, and I really want to share that with you guys because I more or less have that kind of end goal in mind, except I'm probably going to end up buying the more land game pass, so I'll be able to make something a lot bigger. But for right now, there's a couple of other things that we need to focus on. For starters, I need a lot more money, so we're going to have to do some expanding today, and really that's pretty much it because our main focus right now should be to get a large amount of money because, well, based off of how his looks, it's going to be extremely expensive to get to that point. Now, like I promised you guys, I didn't make any type of changes except for maybe a couple, which I will point out in just 1 second, but I didn't really go too far into it because, like I told you guys in the last video, I was strictly going to be leaving this save to work with you guys in videos. The only things that I've changed is we now have a second cashier in here. There's also a restocker, so all I have to do is just go to the warehouse, buy my products, and this worker that I have right here with the orange shirt is gonna go and manually restock everything himself. Now, if we move to the staff area, I did add a bunch of these storage shelves. They don't really have a purpose right now because I haven't been buying large amounts of merchandise due to the fact that I am extremely broke. But yeah, aside from that, I have not done anything else. And actually, speaking of the restocker, this is probably a good time for me to go ahead and tell you guys this, even though I know a lot of you have been playing the game an absolute ton because, well, the last time that we covered this, it had about 2,000, 4,000 players, which was the very day that the game went free to play. And now as I'm recording this, the game has about 15,000 players. So I won't get too into this because, like I said, I'm sure you guys already know this, but yes, there is more workers other than just cashier. There is restockers, which you can hire, and these will focus on obviously restocking all of your shelves. And then there is a manager, which we will more than likely be purchasing one today, which he kind of focuses on buying the products over at the warehouse. Not entirely sure how the whole delivery process works, but like I said, we'll be figuring that out in today's video. So let's not waste any more time, man, and get right into this. At the current moment, the only things that we have available inside of our store is 2 canned shelves, a cold food section with a freezer on the left hand side, and then our 2 fruit stands right in the middle. Now, we have a little bit of extra room over here on this side, but honestly, instead of going ahead and implementing something right there, what I think I'm going to do is knock down all of these walls that we have here, extend this as far as we can to this side, and then I also want to knock down these walls over here so we can extend backwards as well. I don't really want to have to redo this staff section just because, well, I like the placement of where that is, and instead I kind of want to work around it. So what we're going to do is expand to the right side, expand backwards, and then we'll wrap around and start building over on this side as well. I don't personally think we're going to be able to do all of that in just today's video, but we'll definitely be able to go ahead and accomplish the right and rear side of our expansion. So for starters, let's pull up our delete menu, and we are going to erase every single one of these walls on this side. Swap on over to the tiles section. I think these are the ones that are being used right now, so let's go ahead and I want to say I'm going to stretch it out to about right there instead of going all the way to the edge, but now we're just going to go all the way to the edge. Also, I can't forget that I need to also do here in the front, and we need to also expand our parking lot so that way we have way more parking spaces. So let's go ahead and switch on over to asphalt. Grab this, bring it all the way down here, extend it this way. That's going to be 3,200. Yikes. Okay, we'll just do it up to right here. That's 2,800. At least I save a couple of $100 here. Perfect. So that looks good. Now I'm going to hold off on putting up the walls because, like I mentioned, we are going to be extending it a little further back. So now let's focus here on shelving. But before I do that, we need to make our way over to the warehouse because I want to start looking at a couple of numbers just to see what is the most profitable item. By the way, I do want to give a huge shout out to every single one of you on this leaderboard over here. Absolutely insane. Number 1 player, Impossibly Oblivious, has $417 million of total net worth, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I cannot even imagine what his store looks like. So totally, if you're out there for some reason, I would love to check it out, whether it be in my free time or as a video here on the channel. So please feel free to reach out to me if that's something that you're interested in. But anyways, let's take a look here, man. So like I mentioned, right now we're focusing on canned food, cold food, as well as fruits, which honestly are the lowest end items that you can go ahead and purchase. If I was to go ahead and escalate this to the next level, we should be technically looking at toys as well as clothing. So I think those are going to be the two new items that we're going to introduce into our store today. Now, lucky for me, toys are sold on the same exact shelves as canned food. So right off the top of my head, I know that these shelves are extremely affordable, not going to cost us too much to grab a couple of those and potentially be able to sell all three of the products, being RC trucks, quadcopters, as well as toy rockets. So let's see, 50 of that is going to cost me $1,000. I think I'm going to buy 100 for 2K. Actually, I can't do that because my truck unfortunately cannot hold that much. So let's focus on just 50. And then to more or less just top off the truck, I'm going to throw in some canned food as well. Or wait, actually, hold on. Let's grab 50 clothing for $1,500. That'll be able to fit in my truck and it'll top it off completely. And now we can go ahead and introduce both of these new products into my store. Because if you guys remember in my previous video, I did tell you that a reoccurring thing inside of my store is the fact that a lot of customers are coming in and saying that they're not finding everything that they need. That's obviously not something that you want to happen inside of your store. So now let's go ahead and focus on putting down these brand new shelves. So how exactly do I want to go ahead and do this? Honestly, I'm kind of considering right now just knocking down every single wall, at least on the right side of the store. Personally, I feel like this gap right here in the front is a little bit of wasted space. That door could easily be all the way up to right here, the edge. Because I mean, who really needs a sidewalk? Or to be honest, we could just make the sidewalk kind of just a one stud radius. I feel like that would make a lot more sense. So I'm going to delete all of these in the front, and I'm also going to delete the walls in the back. How much is it going to cost me to fill up this whole area back here? It's actually not that bad. 3,360. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead, dump that in there, and now we have way more room to work with. So at this point, I can go ahead and get some of these shelves so we can place down our toys, and we'll put them right behind the canned food as well as the frozen section, just because I do need to kind of reorganize everything. So everything is like kind of in its own little area, frozen food section, toys, and so forth. But for right now, we'll just kind of work with this because again, our main focus right now is to make the most amount of money so we can really go all out just like Bad Bunny did on his. Now we've got our 3 shelves down. Let's go ahead and see which one of these is cheaper for the clothing. This one is $500 and this one over here is $750. So I'm going to kind of just focus on this one for right now, and we'll place these over on this side over here. So we'll put one right here, another one right next to it, and that should be good for right now. Now we need to go ahead and assign the toys to these specific shelves so that way our restocker knows where he needs to put these items. So let's click the quadcopter, put it in the middle, the rockets on the very last one, and there we go. We have one of each product on the shelves, and that looks good, dude. I'm excited. Clothing will be going over on this side, shirts over here, pants on the left side, and there we go, man. We now have a brand new set of product. But as you can tell, we have an unfortunate situation over on this side where we're completely out of cans and we are now completely out of fruit and cold goods. So really quickly, let me head to the warehouse, get this bought, and then we're gonna make our way over to Bad Bunny G's shop so that way you guys can go ahead and take a look at the stuff that he's worked on and give you a general idea on what I kind of have envisioned. All right, so there we go. All of my product has been dropped off. The restocker is taking care of everything in there, as you can see, and we're just gonna go ahead and let that do its thing while I go ahead and show you guys his little store. Funny because I say little, but it's far from little. Just take a look at this, dude. This looks so awesome. The level of detail that he put into this is so crazy. Kind of have like this little drive-through area where there's a roof, the name of his mart, then you have the parking lot on the right hand side with the actual mall on the left. If you keep driving down, oh, he just disappeared. Okay, he'll be right back. All right, so he said that his game glitched, but he's now back into the game. So like I was saying, as you pass the actual parking lot, he has his storage section right over here, as well as a couple of other actual random things like, you know, propane and outdoor stuff. Basically, he has a little seating area right in between, and then back here he has kind of like a little bit of a disconnected building from his actual main store where all of his managers more or less hang out to handle all of the products that need to be ordered for the store. Super cool, very realistic, just like how the real world kind of works. And then for aesthetic, he kind of added the little dumpsters and another section for more parking spaces. Over on this side, he has the back end of the store where your loading trucks would more or less kind of pull up to drop everything off. And then inside of here is all of his storage, which if we go ahead and enter inside of here, you'll notice there is quite a bit of storage, which it's a little overwhelming to be honest, but still extremely organized. And I'm just seriously such a big fan of how he did this, man. I love the addition of like the fine little details, the AC unit over here with the vents coming out of the side, all of these little pillars here, which normally this is what truckers would use as a reference point to know how far they can back up. But now let's go ahead and show you the really interesting part of this entire store. This right here is his main entrance, and as you make your way inside, you have the nice little statue of Mr. Bad Bunny G himself, which he's gone ahead and kind of decorated with a couple of trees, a little fountain, some benches to sit down. And then this is the part that I think is insanely cool, dude. Over here on the left hand side, right in the front door, he kind of has like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to like IKEA and stuff like that, where they have more or less a sample setup of a bedroom, just so you get a general idea of what the furniture looks like inside of like a room, for instance. And then over here on the right side, he has electronics, a couple of monitors, phones, computers. You make your way to the back, there's TVs, stereo system. Everything is just so well organized that it's honestly so cool, dude. Back here is the self-checkouts, and then on this side you have all of the clothing with its own little cashier at the very back, and then right in the center you have the up and down escalators. Once you make your way up here to the top, again, some more decorations. You have the toy section on this side. Over here on the back end, he has the fruits, cold goods are all over here. Then he has all of the working out equipment. Everything is just so well placed and organized. And honestly, man, if that wasn't enough, he added all of these other fine little details, like a ladder that's going up to the rooftop. And then up here, he has a vent system with AC units. It's just actually mind-blowing. This is my goal right here, to be able to create something extremely intricate like this. But of course, in order to be able to accomplish this, like I've said about 1,000 times now, we need the moolah. And we've already wasted so much time just doing all of this exploring and kind of showcasing his place that we need to get back to work here. Now, in the comment right now, I want you guys to go ahead and let me know if it's okay for me to go ahead and do a little bit of money farming while I'm not recording, so that way I can have a lot of money and we can just go ahead and jump right into it when I start the recordings. Or if you guys want me to still continue to do this strictly on video and don't do anything off of camera, because if that's the case, that's fine. And oh my god, we have absolutely no goods. We definitely need to go ahead and get more. Actually, this might be a good time to go ahead and get ourselves a manager. So let's open up our build menu, go down to infrastructure, and grab ourselves a desk, because if I'm not mistaken, I think you need a desk in order to be able to have a manager. I'm going to place that right here in the corner, which that did go ahead and cost us $3,000. And now we need to hire ourselves a manager. This is going to cost us $400 and $40 every single minute. It says managers automatically purchase inventory to keep your shelves stocked, desk required. So there we go. That's been hired. Now, where exactly do I control all of this? I'm assuming it's going to be done here in the store inventory. Oh, so I don't actually need to do anything. It seems like the manager is just buying things based off of what I have already on the floor. Okay, that's actually extremely useful. Although I will say this much, my money seems to be skyrocketing down right now. But for the most part, this is really, really good. Bunny said, make sure all your shelves are full before getting a manager, or else the manager will drain your money. Okay, well, that probably would have been a really good tip before I actually got the manager. So yeah, I guess quick little tip, make sure that you guys have all of the shelves full. If not, you're gonna lose a bunch of money. I literally just went from about $10,000 all the way down to 3K. So really unfortunate, but at the same time, at least we have everything fully automated now, and I don't have to worry about going back and forth. Although I will say this is probably going to eat up a little bit of my profits than if I actually went down there and drove and got everything myself. But at least at this point, we now have everything sort of operating at all times. We just need to make sure that we keep an eye on this and see if this is actually efficient, because if we are making profit, then this just doesn't make sense. But now let's go ahead and get ourselves some more parking spaces, because I need more traffic inside of my store right now. So let's go ahead and place one right here for 3,000. And unfortunately, I don't have one for the next one, which is going to be 4,000. We have to wait. And this is kind of scary because I just dropped down to $500 and I have a lot of employees as well as merchandise that needs to be purchased. Now, according to what Bunny just told me, apparently managers purchase 25% more than what you actually need. So I'm assuming that the reason for this is obviously to be able to keep the storage with items available for your restocker to be able to place down. And I absolutely love how my manager is playing solitaire on one side, meanwhile ordering with the other monitor. Like, what? I don't pay you for this. Get off the solitaire, man. Well, girl, sorry. Now I'm gonna give this a couple of minutes to go ahead and replenish my money here and really understand what's going on, and I will be right back so we can continue our expansion. All right, so after letting that run for a little bit and talking to Bunny about it, it turns out that having a manager as a starting player is not a very good idea. That's an extremely easy way to go ahead and pretty much not make any money. So unfortunately, what I've resorted to doing is firing my manager and turning to just specifically loading up every single one of the inventories by myself, driving all the way to the bottom and delivering it back to my store. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make my way down there one more time, fill up my inventory just a little bit more, and we're gonna focus on closing everything out as far as adding more roof, adding the walls back up again, as well as basically just making it a functioning store again. And I think at that point we're gonna go ahead and call the video right there. What I'll go ahead and do for the rest of the night is more than likely AFK farm or play for a little bit so that way we can rack up a lot of money, and then more than likely tomorrow I'll go ahead, jump back in here, and we'll finally get started on creating something super massive, because I will obviously have hopefully $100,000 or maybe even a couple of tens of thousands of dollars. This game is seriously a grind, man. I have so much respect for every single one of you that have been reaching out to me, showing me how crazy you guys have your store already. Honestly, I'm considering starting a completely new save and just playing that on my free time, maybe kind of like switching over to it every now and then during a video to show you what progress I've made on my own, because I feel like that would be pretty cool. We could make a bunch of really crazy things on this game. But anyways, let's go ahead and focus on sealing this thing up right now. And for that, we're going to start off with the walls. Now, we don't actually have a front door, so I want to go ahead and place that preferably right here in the middle. And then to the left and right side of that, we're going to place some windows, very similar to how it was before. And now we come in with the regular walls and make our way all the way around, which I actually just remembered I can kind of just slide like this and not have to place everything down one by one. A window here would have been nice, but honestly, they're kind of expensive, so I don't think I want to do that right now. I think in the meantime, this should be fine right here. And to be completely honest, that took a lot of our money. Now, for the roof, we're going to have to delete all of these ledges that we have right here. But for some reason, it's not letting me delete that. Not 100% sure why that's the case. But there we go. We've gone ahead and placed down our roof. I do need to somehow figure out how to delete this ledge, though. Oh, okay. There we go. Now it's letting me do it. So we're just going to delete this side, delete this over here as well. There we go. And now all we need to go ahead and do is switch back to walls, go to ledges, and we can add ourselves some new ledges going around. Perfect. Look at that. That looks great. And now we've got ourselves a way more extended store with a whole lot more to work with inside of here. I am going to have to put a little more ceiling lights because it's a little dark on the back end, but for the most part, it's looking real good right now, man. Let me just go ahead and place down some of these really cheap lights. One right there. We'll put another one here. Nothing too crazy like how they have in the front. That should definitely be more than enough. Yeah, that's perfect. And there we go, man. Now, like I mentioned, if you guys end up supporting me in this video and letting me know in the comments to just go ahead and keep building off camera, then hopefully tomorrow we're going to be doing a bunch of crazy things. I'll actually be able to probably get the shelves right now. So on the back end over here, we're going to be putting down some electronics. So I'll more than likely have phones over here, exactly where those shelves are. And then over on this side, we'll also do a couple of other electronics. In the middle, if I'm not mistaken, I think this holds like TVs and instruments. I could be completely wrong about that, but we're also going to have that set up there. We'll also be introducing some more variety of fruits. And then this is more than likely what we're going to be working with for just a little bit until, like I said, we start racking in a lot of that moolah. But yeah, man, for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the progress that we made today. Again, this is a very grindy game, so there's only really so much that we can do live on video without me sitting here and recording for probably like 6 hours. But I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I honestly had a lot of fun making it, and I'm really excited to see how much bigger we can make this and how much more detailed until we get our store looking like that one over there, man. That's gonna go ahead and do it for this one, man. Like always, if you guys enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel to see more and drop a like on this video because it does help my content get out there, and I would really appreciate it. That's gonna go ahead and do it for this one. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.